From coffee to empire, the silent revolution of Starbucks that changed the world. Imagine a 7-year-old boy watching his father lose his job after a devastating accident. With no health insurance, no savings, the family plunges into a pit of despair. That boy was Howard Schultz, the visionary behind the Starbucks empire. Years later, he would become a billionaire, transforming not only the coffee industry, but also redefining the concept of the consumer experience. How did a simple coffee shop become a global powerhouse? The answer lies in 4 crucial phases, starting in the 1960s. But here's the big question. Is Starbucks' success really about coffee, or is there something more behind its meteoric rise? The answer will only be revealed at the end of this journey. Get ready for a story of resilience, innovation, and bold strategies that changed the world of business forever. In the 1960s, Gordon Bowker, a young traveler, experienced something that would change his life, a cappuccino at a small cafe in Rome. The flavor was incomparable, something he had never experienced in the United States, where low-quality instant coffee dominated the market. Upon returning, Gordon shared his experience with 2 friends, and together they decided to bring high-quality coffee to Americans. In 1971, the first Starbucks opened its doors in Seattle, selling coffee beans and equipment for home brewing, but it did not serve ready-made drinks. Growth was slow but steady. Starbucks was a specialty store, attracting an audience that valued quality. However, the business model was limited. They had no idea that within a few decades, the company would become a global phenomenon. The key to this transformation lay in a man who was not yet part of the team, Howard Schultz. Howard, who grew up amid financial difficulties, had a different vision. He saw coffee not just as a product, but as an experience. When he joined Starbucks in 1982, he brought with him a revolutionary idea: to transform the store into a place where people could enjoy a well-prepared drink in a welcoming environment. But this idea was not well received by the original founders, who preferred to focus on selling beans. The founders' resistance led Howard to leave the company and pursue his own path. He founded Il Giornale, a coffee shop that embodied his vision of a community space inspired by Italian cafes. Meanwhile, Starbucks continued to grow slowly, unaware that it was about to be transformed by the man they once tried to ignore. Howard Schultz was no stranger to Starbucks. In 1981, he was the vice president of a company that supplied equipment to Starbucks. Fascinated by the volume of orders the small Seattle store was placing, he decided to visit it personally. Upon trying the coffee, Howard was impressed by its quality and saw potential that the original founders did not. He approached the founders with a bold proposal: to transform Starbucks into a place where people could enjoy a complete experience, not just buy beans. However, the founders resisted. They believed the current model was sufficient and feared the risks of radically changing the business. Howard, determined, kept pushing, but ultimately left the company in 1985 to pursue his own dream. With Il Giornale, Howard began putting his ideas into practice. He created a welcoming environment where customers could relax, work, or socialize while enjoying high-quality coffee. Despite criticism and skepticism from many investors, Howard persisted. He believed Americans were ready to pay more for a superior experience. In 1987, the Starbucks founders decided to sell the company. Howard, with the help of investors, including Bill Gates Sr., managed to buy Starbucks for $3.8 million. It was the beginning of a new era. Howard unified his stores under the Starbucks brand and began implementing his vision of a coffee shop that offered not just coffee, but a memorable experience. With Howard at the helm, Starbucks began a radical transformation. He introduced the concept of serving ready-made drinks in stores, something the original founders had rejected. The idea was to create an environment where people could enjoy a well-prepared coffee in an inviting space. Howard's strategy was simple but powerful. Replicate the successful model in new locations. He started opening stores in strategic areas with high foot traffic. Starbucks quickly became a popular meeting spot, attracting not only coffee lovers, but also professionals looking for a place to work or relax. However, the rapid expansion brought challenges. The company needed to ensure that each new store maintained the quality and experience standards Howard had established. To achieve this, he implemented a rigorous training system for baristas, ensuring every drink was prepared to perfection. Starbucks also began innovating its menu, introducing drinks like the Frappuccino, which became an instant hit. The company wasn't just selling coffee, it was creating a lifestyle. The brand became synonymous with quality, sophistication, and convenience. In 1992, Starbucks went public, marking the beginning of a new phase of growth. The company now had the resources to expand further, both in the United States and internationally. Howard was determined to take Starbucks global, and he would do so in a way no one could have predicted. Starbucks' global expansion was rapid and aggressive. In 1996, the company opened its first store outside the United States in Japan. In the following years, Starbucks established itself in countries like the UK, the Philippines, and China. The strategy was to adapt the Starbucks experience to local cultures while maintaining the quality standards that made it famous. However, the rapid expansion brought problems. The company began facing criticism for homogenizing cities, replacing local coffee shops with its standardized stores. In some places, Starbucks was met with protests and resistance. Despite the challenges, Starbucks continued to grow. In 2000, Howard stepped down as CEO to focus on international expansion. The company was opening 5 new stores a day, an impressive pace that made it one of the most recognized brands in the world. However, the accelerated growth came at a cost. The company began losing focus on quality and customer experience, prioritizing expansion above all else. This imbalance would lead Starbucks to a crisis that nearly destroyed everything Howard had built. The 2008 financial crisis exposed Starbucks' flaws. The excessive focus on expansion had diluted the customer experience. Stores were overcrowded, service was slow, and coffee quality had declined. The company was losing its essence. The excessive focus on expansion had diluted the customer experience. Stores were overcrowded, service was slow, and coffee quality had declined. The company was losing its essence. Howard Schultz, who had left the CEO role in 2000, returned in 2008 to save the company he had built. His first decision was to close all US stores for a day to retrain baristas. The move was controversial, but necessary. Howard also reintroduced practices that had been abandoned, like grinding coffee beans in stores to restore the aroma and atmosphere that had made Starbucks famous. He cut costs, closed underperforming stores, and focused on improving the customer experience. The strategy worked. In 2009, Starbucks returned to growth with a 143% increase in profits. The company had learned a valuable lesson. Success isn't just about expansion, but about the quality and experience you offer. Today, Starbucks is more than just a coffee company. It competes in various industries, including real estate and financial services. The Frappuccino effect increases the value of properties near its stores, and the company's app functions almost like a bank with billions of dollars in customer balances. Starbucks is also investing in unique experiences, like its reserve roasteries, which are major tourist attractions. These stores offer specialty coffees, innovative brewing methods, and a luxurious environment, elevating the customer experience to a new level. Additionally, the company is exploring new technologies, such as digital payments and drone deliveries, to stay relevant in an ever-changing market. Starbucks is also committed to sustainability, pledging to eliminate disposable cups and reduce its carbon footprint. The future of Starbucks is promising but full of challenges. Starbucks doesn't just sell coffee, it sells an experience, a lifestyle. From the beginning, Howard Schultz understood that the company's success depended on creating a third place between home and work. Starbucks became a symbol of community, innovation, and accessible luxury. But the true secret to Starbucks' success goes beyond coffee. It lies in the company's ability to adapt, innovate, and connect with its customers. Starbucks isn't just a coffee shop, it's a platform that integrates technology, real estate, finance, and culture. And now, the big question. Is Starbucks' success really about coffee? The answer is no. It's about the experience it offers, the ability to turn a simple habit into a daily ritual. Starbucks doesn't sell coffee, it sells moments, connections, and a sense of belonging. If you enjoyed this fascinating story, don't miss the next videos on the Millionario's Invisivis channel. Turn on notifications to be alerted whenever new content is released. And don't forget to check out the next video. FedEx, the company that bet everything on a casino. See you there.